Hello everyone and welcome to another custom figure showcase. Today I am going to be showing off my audio series customs. These are customs that I have made, custom figures that I've made for my audio series of my Doctor, Companions, Daleks, Cybermen and of course the TARDIS, which is where we're going to begin. Now this started off as an 11th Doctor's Christmas Adventure TARDIS. This is one of the non-functioning ones, but it had the white windows. Now I really liked the look of the first Doctor TARDIS, the very original one, of which one I customised recently as well. So that is where I got the idea, but obviously as you can see, the TARDIS in my audio series is much bigger. But I really liked the look, I really liked the sort of tall look it had, and just it looked a lot more square. And I just really liked the sort of the original grimy kind of look. So that's what I decided to go with for my design. So obviously this started off, as I said, as an 11th Doctor TARDIS, so I've modified the roof. You can't really see it all that well because there's not enough camera space to fit it in. But you can see that basically I've just redone the roof, I've built it up, and then essentially all I've done is repaint the whole thing and add my own markings. Now there's nothing inside it for the moment, but I have tried to do several things, but none of them work. But I am planning at some point to do my own version of that. So that is what we shall see in future. But I wanted to have my own TARDIS, obviously, because you know it's Doctor Who and he needs the TARDIS. Okay, so next up we have the Doctor and Companions. So starting off with the Doctor, obviously you have to excuse, I know the fact that it doesn't look a great deal like me, but and I've just knocked them over. It doesn't look a great deal like me, but I have to go with the parts that I had. So I tried to go with what works best. So this is overall it's Captain Jack with a trimmed down coat and a bag from a Connor Primeval figure. Obviously repainted it. The legs are from a Castrovalva 5th Doctor figure, and I've just repainted those, repainted the legs, and obviously because the boots fitted. And then I've also given him one of Captain John Hart's from the Torchwood Range's hands because he's got a vortex manipulator. Now part of my Doctor is my Doctor does indeed have a vortex manipulator as well as a TARDIS, because I actually have a vortex manipulator myself. It is my kind of lucky charm, so I always wear that. Now, next up we have Companion Nell, who's named after my other half. So this is basically top half is an Amy Pond figure with repainted hair, and then I've used some Sarah Jane legs and Oswin's belt just to mask the join. You know, it's just it's much different to what I originally designed, which was actually based off an Abby Maitland Primeval figure, but it just didn't look quite right to me, so I redesigned her using an Amy Pond figure, and to be honest, I think it's worked out much better. It's much better, it's much more suited to how I can see the character. So, third companion, or second companion, because there's only two. Second companion, third character, is what I meant to say. This is Gentel. Now, he is going to be appearing in episode 2 of series 2, and he is a cyber gentleman, which is where he gets his name Gentel from. He's a partially converted Cyberman, but he has retained his humanity. So I don't want to give up too much away of this character, so just to give you a quick figure breakdown. Overall, it's a 3rd Doctor figure with a Pyramid of Mars Marcus Scarman coat. He has a new series Cyberman hand, and also a decayed decayed master hand, sorry. The head, as I'm sure many of you will notice, is indeed handles. I just wanted something that was a bit different to any other Cyberman, so I just thought it would be you know, a nice companion to go with, and we will see more of him in the future. Now, moving on, we have the Daleks. So I decided to go with a sort of TV movie look for the Daleks, just because I just quite liked the size and the shape of them, and I thought that this livery, I believe, was seen on some Dalek or another, but I really like the sort of outer spacey, silvery look it had to it, but I believe a dash of colour always works well. So obviously I've got the 2 drones, and then I have my special weapons Dalek with Eye Stalk. But at the moment, I don't know where this is going to come into the series, but he will be coming in. He will be making an appearance, or you will be hearing him at some point. Now, we have some of the more special Daleks. So, from left to right, we have the Emperor, who isn't Davros, as you can see, because Davros is here. I decided to use the design of the Emperor Davros, though, as I really like the look of it. I really like the look. It's a very unique Dalek design, so I thought if I'm going to have an Emperor, I will indeed have that as my look for him. I think it's going to work quite well. So we then have my custom time controller, who will also be making an appearance. All of these Daleks you see here will be appearing in Series 3. The time controller is basically I've used my design from my other custom time controller, as I really like the look of it, and I just thought it was an interesting design, so I thought that's what I'd go with. Now, the interior part uses some of Davros's pieces, but it also uses Dalek Sek's head. Now, it's not supposed to be Dalek Sek, but I had this head floating around for ages, and I couldn't think of what to do with it, and I thought, well, it does look quite like a Dalek, actually, so I thought I'd put it in there and use it as an actual Dalek mutant, and he is the time controller. So, I was pretty pleased with the way that looks, actually, and it's an interesting figure, and it's an interesting piece. But, of course, we can't have the Daleks without their creator, Davros. Now, this Davros isn't particularly based on anyone. Obviously, a lot of these take place in my own alternate universe, so he's not meant to be a Davros from the original series or from the new series, for those of you who've seen that he has the metal hand. Basically, I wanted to use the original Davros's head because I really like the original grizzled look of Davros, and as much as I love Terry Malloy's portrayal of Davros, and indeed my voice for Davros is going to be very heavily influenced by Terry Malloy's performance, I wanted to go back to the real original roots of Davros, and I just thought the metallic hand looked quite cool, so I thought I'd stick with that. Delivery, I have no idea where that came from. I just decided that it looked good. I thought I'd experiment with some paints, and I'd go with it, and I just kind of stuck with it. I just thought it looked quite good, and it was quite a bit different, so that is Davros as you see him, along with the other special Daleks that will be appearing. Now, here really is something a bit different. This is the Supreme Controller. Now, you will have heard him in the first part of episode 2, Exodus of the Daleks. Basically, this is overall a 3 3/4 inch Dalek patrol ship. I did a similar custom in my Live from the Workshops, but this is the original design I came up with. And I just wanted something that really looked like it could be part of a Dalek ship, and I really wanted a big static Dalek, rather like the Evil of the Daleks Emperor, but just something that was just hugely, vastly different, but still retain that kind of Dalek look to it. So if I'm very careful, I can do a pan down shot, so you can see the rest of it. The actual Dalek is just a simple cotton wool ball with just some tentacles from a Deadly 60 octopus figure attached to it. I apologise for the slightly jerky camera work. But, I just wanted something that was very different, and I had some people actually asking, about my Emperor in the first part of episode 2. So no, it wasn't the Emperor, it was this guy, and this gives you a bit more of an idea of exactly what he looks like and why the Doctor refers to him as Big Red in the Supremo. So that is my Supreme Controller. Okay, so next up we have the Cybermen. Now, these are based mainly on the Invasion Cyberman, and the reason being is because, in my opinion, the Invasion Cyberman was their best classic design. It was very sleek and alien looking, and I really liked it. However, the one thing that always disappointed me slightly were the chess pieces. So when I decided to make my own Cybermen using this design, I thought I'd change over the chess pieces, and what I've done for this is the overall bodies of these are Invasion Cybermen, and the chest pieces are actually taken from Earthshock Cybermen. Now, I know the Earthshock Cybermen is considered quite rare to some people, but worry not, I managed to get all of these different pieces as part of a loose set box featuring broken figures, so I haven't dismantled or destroyed any Earthshock Cybermen. I've made sure that these are all separate pieces. So, but yeah, I really wanted to have two different. I really wanted to have two different ones mixed together to really create quite a unique Cyberman look that still made them look quite daunting and bulky, which was a look they often had. So, obviously, back two are just your standard cyber drones, but in front we have the Cyber Leader. Now, it's been pointed out to me by a couple of people who've already seen these that the exposed brain is a nice touch, but it's a bit of a weak point. So, just to clarify here, what I originally wanted to do is I wanted to have a plastic layer over the top of the brain, but I couldn't get it to look convincing enough. So, in my mind, whenever this Cyber Leader is there, his brain is protected by a kind of crackly, bluey, force fieldy thing. But obviously that's not something that I've managed to realise in the figure. But don't worry, it's not a silly weak point, rather like the Sontarans and their probic vents. It's all there and it's all ready. So those are my Cybermen. Okay, and now we move on to the last of my enemies. We have on the left the Master, his TARDIS, and this strange, mysterious silver man whose identity, is what I was looking for, will be revealed in episode 3 of series 1. But for now, I am keeping him under wraps as to exactly his purpose and who and what he is. So, my Master is made up of a collection of various figures and pieces, but the reason for his look and his burnt face and missing hand is this is my own take on the Master at the end of his regeneration cycle. So the burnt look is actually sort of him half being decayed, and the reason that he has no hand, well, that will become apparent in the coming episodes, but I don't want to reveal for that because it's quite a large plot point. Nonetheless, I decided that I wanted him to have that kind of grizzled, half decayed look, because I really like the grizzled, decayed look of the Master, but it does quite limit. I always thought it quite limited what could be done with the character, so I thought, well, why not make him sort of half decayed, so he can still function, he can still do things for himself, but you know, it's still got that kind of grisly, nearing the end of his life look. His TARDIS, this is actually made from a Series 2 Satan Pit lift. I've removed the cable wheels, and the top part is actually made. Top part is actually made from a piece from the Keeper of Traken set that I just had lying around. The identity of his TARDIS again is something that will be revealed. I don't want to go into it right now, but it is something that will be coming into it. But I just wanted something that I didn't want to build a TARDIS from scratch, so I wanted to use something that I could use that it was an existing product, but I could easily disguise, and I think that works quite well in terms of a TARDIS shape. Obviously, you know, you've even got the door on the front, but obviously, again, there's nothing on the interior at the moment. So, moving on to Mysterious Chappie. He is actually made from a Terminator figure. Some of you might recognise him, or recognise the Terminator figure in question. I believe it's from Salvation. I'm not that au fait with Terminator, so I'm not exactly sure which Terminator model he's taken from, but all I've done for this is obviously repainted him. I've added some other small little bits to him. The head is from a John Hart figure with a moulded eyepiece and neck addition. Cape is from a Roman soldier from, I believe, Series 5. It could be Series 6. I think it is Series 5 though. And then I've just also replaced the arm on his right arm. So it's he still has one functioning human arm. I just thought it'd look a bit better than having two robot arms. But those are my custom audio series figures, and I am pretty pleased with those. As always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, favourite, subscribe, share. It really helps me out a lot. And I shall see you all with another video very soon.